a brand new day. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, South Sudan. Welcome to African Morning Breakfast Show coming to you right here in South Sudan capital, Juba. My name is Prajur Cholkor, and in our today editions of African Morning Breakfast Show, we cross out from our studio and we're coming to you live in the Indian Embassy in the Republic of South Sudan capital, Juba. In these editions of African Morning Breakfast Show, we are going to explore more about South Sudan relations with the Indian government. And right here in this discussion, I'm profoundly honored and exceedingly humbled to say it. I'm joined by Ambassador Vishnu Kumar Sharma, the Indian ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan. Sharma, Ambassador, thank you so much for having your time to talk to SABC African Morning Breakfast Show. Good morning and you're welcome.
Namaskar and good morning to all your viewers.
Thank you so much. And as South Sudanese, African, and Indian, when you wake up in the morning, you have a greeting to your friend, your loved one, your relative, your colleagues. So your word of greeting to people of the Republic of South Sudan, people of the India, and the amazing viewers of African Morning Breakfast Show.
So my heartfelt greetings to all South Sudanese nationals. They have just celebrated 60 years of their last phase of freedom struggle, and now in the month of July they will be celebrating their Independence Day, and that will be, I think, the 12 years completion. South Sudan has changed a lot in these 12 years, and I wish that this peace process will continue with the same momentum, and we will see peace and prosperity in very near future in South Sudan.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Sharma, for your nice word of greeting to the viewers and the people of the Republic of South Sudan. Now, before we look into the relations between South Sudan and the Indian government, let's first know about Ambassador Sharma. Who are you before you become the ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan?
My full name is Vishnu Kumar Sharma. I come from Rajasthan, a Western India state. I joined Ministry of External Affairs in 1990, and from there I have served in various capacities in 7 other countries than South Sudan and at headquarters. So I was in Sri Lanka, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Niger, United Kingdom, Colombia, and now in South Sudan. At headquarters, I have served in various capacities, and my last assignment in New Delhi was Director of Consular, Passport and Visa Division. And here I come as Ambassador of South Sudan, which is my first ambassadorship.
So how long have you been here?
I have been here almost 1 year and 9 months, which is quite a good tenure, considering that most countries' ambassador here come for only 18 months or so.
So how is South Sudan treating you, Ambassador?
No, I have enjoyed right from the first day. I have a big Indian community, which is very vibrant. They are dynamic, organize so many things, and also the diplomatic community here is quite close. We keep meeting. Also, there are several briefings where we have opportunity to interact. One weekly briefing in the EU compound. The Foreign Office also on important occasions organizes a briefing for the diplomats. That is very good thing. And obviously I get newspaper reports, etc., which is sufficient to know about South Sudan and for my work.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Sharma. Let's learn about the Indian Embassy in South Sudan. For some South Sudanese who may not have knowledge about how Indian Embassy came to existence in South Sudan, would you shed some light?
India opened its consulate in October 2007, when I think no Asian country had opened. So we have engaged quite early. 2011, when South Sudan got freedom, India was one of the first countries to recognize South Sudan. And in 2012 March, we upgraded our consulate to embassy. And I would like to share that same year, South Sudan also opened embassy in India. So we have been the first to engage, to recognize, and that is a special relationship that goes to prove that even South Sudan, which had only few embassies, they chose to open an embassy in India as early as August 2012.
Now, yes, seeing the time that you start existing in South Sudan, let's look at the mandate of the Indian embassy in South Sudan. What are you supposed to be doing in South Sudan?
India treats all African countries as its partners. As we have a shared past of colonial rule, so India being now 75-year-old democracy, having progressed in various fields, technologically, economically much bigger power, we want to share our experiences and our expertise with our African friends. South Sudan is also one of them, and we think that we should be partner in progress. We are slightly different from other countries, Western countries who are donor countries. We are not a donor country in true sense. We do donate humanitarian aids at times, but we consider African countries as equal partners. So we treat them equal partners. We try to engage where they want us to engage without any interference. It is their choosing that what they want us to do. We interact with them, and we want to build their capacities also, but always with their engagement. What they want us to do, we do only that.
Ambassador, now it's time for us to look into the relation between the South Sudan government and its peoples and the peoples of India and the government of India. So how can you describe the bilateral relation between the peoples, the government of India and the people of the Republic of South Sudan?
I will describe the relations between India and South Sudan, both in terms of the governments and people, very friendly and close. As you understand that we opened embassy immediately after your country became independent, and you also opened at the same time. So we have been engaging since the existence of South Sudan as a country. Our people to people tie is also very close, because immediately after 2005, when you signed CPA, Indians had started coming here, and they have stayed put here despite all the problems that you have faced during this period, 2013 to 16. Indians who came here to set up their businesses, taking a lot of risks and personal safety, they stayed put here. They continued their businesses, helping the economy to grow, and also creating an atmosphere of trust for other countries' businessmen to come and explore this opportunity that South Sudan offers. So their contribution in that sense, that when they came here, they were almost among the first outside African countries. Yes, there were businessmen from Sudan, Eritrea, Uganda, Kenya, etc. But our businessmen who came from India, or the Indian businessmen, they had to start from the scratch. So it was a big risk. Some people have, of course, lost all their assets and they went there. But still, there are still around 1,000 Indian people here, and some of them are very successful also. So this close association with South Sudanese, and South Sudanese people, they realize that Indians are not the people who will just run away if there is some little problem in South Sudan. This has won their love and their respect for Indians here, and that is, I think, the best achievement for Indians here. So far as government to government relations are concerned, we have had bilateral visits. His Excellency President Kiir visited India in 2015, and he met Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi. His Excellency the Vice President Vaniga had been to India in 2016 and again 2022 last year. several ministers, uh, Minister of Presidential Affairs, Minister of Health, Defense Minister, even in last year itself, uh, Defense Minister, present Defense Minister, he visited India in October and in this February for our defense products exhibition. We called Aero India 2023 show, and they have shown a great interest in our defense products. Health Minister also visited last year itself, and we are just considering to sign a memorandum of understanding in health sector that is underway. From Indian side, to attend your ceremony of independence ceremony in 2011, the Vice President had come. After that, our Minister of State for External Affairs, he came to invite Excellency the President to come to attend India-Africa Forum Summit in India in 2015. Then 2016, he again came for coordinating the evacuation of Indians from here. And then in 2021, in October, the current Minister of State of External Affairs, Mr. V. Muralidharan also came. And after that, our relationship got a momentum.
Okay.
And since then, we actually are in fast gear, I must say.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Now, talking about the business peoples from India, what nature of business are they doing here in South Sudan?
Indians in South Sudan are engaged in hospitality sector. As you can see, they are having hotels, restaurants, then they are having printing presses, borehole digging companies. They are also having IT companies. They are also having travel agents. And more than anything, we have Indian oil company, which is called ONGC Videsh. They have a large investment in oil sector, and they are partners in GPOC and SPOC. And their investment is over 2.5 billion. So in oil sector. And there are a lot of other companies, contracting companies, which are serving these big oil companies, and also UN in oil sector, UN contracting companies, which are supplying non-oil items to UN basically. So this is the community which is very vibrant, and some of them are very successful. They are contributing in enhancing and deepening people-to-people tie in South Sudan.
Ambassador, apart from involvement in the business as Indian people, what other activities are you doing in South Sudan in terms of developmental and educational aspect of it?
Okay. India's, or I must say the embassy's main focus so far has been on capacity building. And the reason for that is, first, we had approved some developmental projects for South Sudan in India-Africa Forum Summit 2015. Because the conditions were not conducive, the security was little fragile, so these projects couldn't progress. There was also an issue that the South Sudanese government has other priorities. I understand they have, their main mandate is to implement the revitalized peace agreement, and they have a lot of work to do on that front. So our modality of executing a development project is that we involve the local government. We don't do project like many other countries that you give money to some NGO and he will do that thing, or they have their own aid agencies which are executing the projects. Our project can be executed only through South Sudanese government. We engage them because the philosophy is different. We consider them as our partners, and it has been the region that we have not been able to do much on development project field. But yes, we have some projects which I can count, like there was a borehole project that we executed in Mangala IDP's camp last year. Then we organized a artificial limbs fitment camp last year, which benefited around 500 people. So, and we are having some other projects in the offing. We also provided some aid assistance, food aid and some medicines in 2000 and 2021. Because of Corona, there were certain things were not, they couldn't be taken up. But yes, on a capacity building front, we have trained around 1,100 South Sudanese into India. We have sent them on full expenditure of Government of India in several streams. It contains all like management, account, finance, IT, and agriculture expertise. So many fields are there, entrepreneurship. Then there are specific trainings. Around 50 police officers were trained in India, 65 diplomats were trained in India, and there are other scholarships, fully paid scholarships, which is around 100 fully paid scholarships for graduation and post-graduation we have given. This year also we are given another 30. So on these fields we have done a lot, because this is the main focus of our embassy, that we build capacity, because South Sudan is a new country and it needs more than anything capacity.
So, Ambassador, what is the situation that you are getting from the students, South Sudanese student that you have granted scholarship in India?
You see, I get a very good response when we advertise. We advertise 30 seats and we get at least 600-700 applications. So obviously it is very difficult to choose. But this selection is not done by embassy. This selection is done by the universities, because the individuals, they apply on the portal of the university. They find them eligible, then only they send the names to us. If they don't find eligible, names don't come to us. But even those eligible names which come to us are far more than the numbers that we can give scholarship to. So this year we have engaged your Ministry of Higher Education. So they will be trying to do it more by spreading into whole of South Sudan. Like there are 10 states, so it should not happen that all scholarship goes to the people who are in Juba. So they will try to do their best, and we will sit and finalize this list together. But yes, we have only 30 seats, so we can give it to only 30 people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ambassador Sharma. And dear viewer, thank you so much for following these editions of African Morning Breakfast Show. We are coming to you live at the Indian Embassy in South Sudan capital, Juba. And in this special edition of African Morning Breakfast Show, we're talking about the relations between South Sudan and the Indian government and with its people. Right here, Ambassador Sharma is helping us understand the role of the Indian government in the Republic of South Sudan. Let's have a break. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, dear viewer. Thank you so much for following African Morning Breakfast Show right here on SABC. In these special editions of African Morning Breakfast Show, we're talking about South Sudan's relations with India, and helping us in these editions of African Morning Breakfast Show is Vishnu Kumar Sharma, the ambassador of India to South Sudan. And Ambassador Sharma, thank you so much. Welcome back from that break.
Thank you.
Yeah, we understand that you've been doing a lot, especially in the education sector, in the development, and also looking at the business part when you mentioned that most of the Indian are taking part in the hotel business in Juba and some part in the country. So apart from hotels, educations, and developmental aspect of it, do you think there are some other achievement that you can testify that the Indian government has been supporting South Sudan and this achievement has been realized and can be seen and verified by the citizen of South Sudan?
I would like to mention two specific sectors, education and health. Since we came, we are trying to promote Indian medical treatment facilities, and the number of South Sudanese who are going to India for medical treatment has been increasing. The Indian treatment in medical treatment is not only qualitatively better but much cheaper than many other countries, and that is one thing that we are focusing on. We would be very happy, we are trying our best that some Indian hospital, especially the private sector people, they come and start providing this facility here itself. But so far, until that happens, our Indian travel agents, they are also working as their local agencies. So people go to them, they give their test reports, they send it to Indian hospitals, and then they find out how much expenditure, how much time it is going to take them for in India. So we are trying to facilitate that way. Other way is also to call Indian doctors or to arrange medical consultation online. The Indian government has a telemedicine facility, but that depends upon the country if they have some consultation center. That there should be a center here where they can get consultation online from India. We are trying, if it established here, then of course that will be a very good thing for South Sudanese, that without going there they can at least get the consultation here. In the education field, we have an online education program that is called E-Vidya, E-Vidya Bharati, that is EVV, that is, you can say, tele-education online. And on that, 180 South Sudanese have enrolled this year for various graduation courses which are being conducted from India. There are other schemes of Government of India, like Study in India, in which, depending upon the the qualification and based on merit, they give sometimes 100% free without any tuition fees, sometimes 50% concession, sometimes 25% concession for deserving students. So that is another scheme of Government of India for foreign students, including South Sudanese. So there are various courses, and I have seen the number of South Sudanese students going to India have been increasing considerably, and at any given point of time, India has 500 to 1,000 South Sudanese students there.
Yes, Ambassador, thank you so much for having your time to talk to SABC African Morning Breakfast Show. Before we wind up this discussion, so would you mind talking to us about maybe your future plan for the Indian government and the embassy in Juba to support the people of the Republic of South Sudan?
The embassy will continue to make its efforts to bring more business here, investment here, that helps grow the economy, and that is what adds to prosperity. But there is another thing in the context of South Sudan that we need to contribute, and that is the peace process. So India supports this peace process. We have been supporting it. We understand the challenges the country faces, and because of that only we have not supported arms embargo resolutions. We are not a guarantor or a partner country in the revitalized peace agreement, but we have a combined vote with IGAD Partners Forum, because we are member of IGAD's Partner Forum, which has one vote. So wherever we have to convey our views, we convey through our representative here, which is the Embassy of Canada or the Embassy of Netherlands. But yes, we have been saying it openly that we are in full support and we are ready to do anything possible within our norms to support government of South Sudan in its development projects, in its journey to a developing country, and also would be ready to provide any kind of capacity building that they need to implement this agreement, such as constitution making process. We are considering your training of your officials from Parliamentary Affairs Ministry, from your TNLA office, Secretariat officials, and also Council of State Secretariat officials in India, so that these processes are better dealt with. People understand managing things. We will also be willing to provide any other kind of assistance that you might need in judiciary or police reforms and wildlife conservation or on climate change. We have also admitted, encouraged South Sudan to join our coalition for resilient infrastructure, CDRI. So South Sudan had joined last year, and that will be beneficial for South Sudan to get all the expertise of a CDRI, that is Climate Resilient Infrastructure Initiative, coalition for this purpose. India is leading this initiative, and we understand that if you join this, after some time it will be beneficial for you, and they have already joined actually.
Okay.
So that is one area. The another areas is trade and investment. We are trying our best. We are taking up our issues through your Chamber of Commerce, that what problems our businessmen are facing here, and the government of South Sudan or the concerned agencies, they should do their best to remove these impediments so that the trade between the two countries grows, and also we have people interested in India to invest here in various sectors like agriculture, education and health.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your time. Since you stated that the government of India is ready to support the implementations of the peace agreement and for the people of South Sudan to realize lasting peace in the country, what do you say to the people of South Sudan that they should expect from the government as they are waiting the December 2024 general election?
We Indians, government of India and people of India, we convey the message of friendship, cooperation and support. As things go, we would of course very much hope that there is a democratic transition of power by 2025 February as the transition period ends. And so far we are hopeful that the things can be caught up. We are ready to provide assistance in the electoral process also, because India is the largest democracy in the world and it has a mammoth exercise. It has experience of conducting a mammoth electoral exercise. So this exercise is our experience and our expertise. We can give it to South Sudan if they are willing. We have election commission. We are already thinking of training some people from here, but this is something that they need. We also have expertise in census, registration of voters, etc. if they need, because that is a part of peace process. We are also ready to provide training to security personnel, soldiers, provided the arms embargo is lifted. So all these and partly they will add to bring peace to this country and create a conducive atmosphere for prosperity.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador. I want not to miss this question. Do you think the Indian people in South Sudan face some challenges that you maybe get as a report in South Sudan?
Indian people, it is not from the people as such. I can't say, because South Sudanese people, they love Indian people. Also, they have seen our UN peacekeeping contingent of 2,300 people who have done a lot of charity work, philanthropic work. Indian community is also doing a lot of charity work. Like they are organizing blood donation camps and distributing food articles at time and again. And both our peacekeepers as well as common Indians here are very popular. They are loved, they are respected for what they do. The problem is when they face certain issues with the government authorities. Sometimes it may be the immigration, sometimes it may be the tax authorities or the city council people, and they are asked for documents which they should not, like for instance somebody is outside, somebody checking, police that okay, show me your passport. Of course they will not have passport at the site. These are small things. We have been raising them with the authorities, and I hope that they will find the solution. These are small things, but important from somebody's point of view. We don't believe in issuing advisory like you have seen many countries that you should not go to South Sudan, it is a dangerous place. Or no, we don't issue any such advisory. Our Indians are here, they are very happy. But yes, if you want to make it more conducive to people to come to this country, we'll have to listen to their small these problems, and I'm sure that they will do. Only thing is their priorities right now are different. I also would like to say, add to this thing, that we are organizing International Yoga Day session in embassy on just before 21st June, Saturday or Sunday. Our Facebook, India in South Sudan, will have the exact details of time and date. So I will request our viewers that they should come and they should join us, because yoga is something that originated in India, but now it is a heritage of the whole world. This is something that will help you in living a stress-free life, a healthy life, and it will also help you to focus on your work. So it is a balanced well-being methodology that everybody should try to incorporate in their daily lives.
Okay.
So most welcome to our International Day of Yoga session here, and please keep watching our Facebook, India in South Sudan, for all the news that and all the activities that we conduct here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for having your time to talk to African Morning Breakfast Show on SLBC. It has been my pleasure having you, and thank for all you have said. And dear viewer, thank you so much for having your time to follow these editions of African Morning Breakfast Show, where we cross out from our studio and we were coming to you live at the Indian Embassy in South Sudan capital, Juba, talking about South Sudan relation with the Indian government and its people in the Republic of South Sudan. And it has been my pleasure having Bishnu Kumar Sharma, the ambassador of India to South Sudan, who helped to deliberate more about the role of the embassy and the government of India in supporting the people of the Republic of South Sudan. I've been your host, Majur Cholkor. For me and the colleague in the technical team, we do say thank you so much for following this edition, and make sure to watch the rest of the program coming up right here on SLBC. Well, Ambassador, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.